Salute, salute, salute. It's your boy T-Bone Blast on the check-in with the 5th episode of Talking That Walk. Yeah, I know it took me long enough. I ain't give y'all a story in about 3 months. You know what I mean? But it's a reason for that. Maybe I'll get into it on another episode. But for this episode, I want to address what's a hot topic. And the hot topic right now is that protective custody shit. I done heard wild views on that shit. And I've been asked about it, my opinion on it. So, and I done gave my opinion on it to a couple individuals and shit. So I'm like, you know what, let me wrap this shit up in one shot. Put this shit up on the channel. So the next person asks me, I just direct them to the channel and they just get whatever I have to say about it on that. You know what I mean? But I ain't forget y'all, man. Like I said, I know it's been 3 months, but at least I'm able to get to y'all before the New Year's. You know what I mean? Better late than never. Even though they do say never late is better, but that's another story. Anyway. Shout out to Mav Hoffa, man. Hopefully he don't feel like I'm jacking his shit with the title that I chose for this episode, which is my expert opinion on protective custody. The reason why I call it my expert opinion is because I wasn't never actually in protective custody. But I've been in the prison system, especially Rikers Island, long enough to give some accurate views in regards to that. You know what I mean? So I decided to just call it an opinion, throw an expert one. Plus it sound kind of catchy, my expert opinion on protective custody. All right. Anyway, getting into it, let me say this. Yes, you can be put in protective custody. What's that word? What's that shit? Involuntarily. You can. I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. Shout out to my boy Flight, Mel Hard. They 2 individuals that from around my way that was in PC. But they was in PC because of their case. An incident occurred where an individual was murdered. The individual that was murdered, now I don't recall, because I'm going back to 93, I don't know if that person was a CO or related to a CO or married to a CO, but whatever the case was, that person was connected to C-74. The 2 individuals that was accused of this crime, it was an accidental shooting. You know, dudes was in a bang out and an innocent bystander got hit. But the dudes that was in the bang out, 2 of them, they were adolescents. Anybody from Rikers Island that been in Rikers Island know that there's only one adolescent building. So they was coming to C-74. I believe they got knocked separately, but I know the first one that came through, as soon as he came to the building, before he even got processed, my son Flight, police wigged on him. It was to the point where the main police that obviously had a close connection with the victim had to be pulled off him. But they beat the shit out of Flight. They fucked him up. Now, it's only one adolescent building. Had he been adult, they would have probably just moved him to another building. But since there's only one adolescent building, they actually moved the CO. But they also know how COs roll, you know what I mean? So they had him in the YME pen for a few days, you know what I mean? He beefing because he ain't no sucker, you know what I mean? At that time, Brownville was deep. Some wouldn't have had no problems, you know what I'm saying? If anything, he'd have been the problem. But it wasn't nothing he could do. And they sent him to PC because of that. He wasn't going to PC. He didn't have a court order at first, but they held him in the YME pen, did whatever they did, and they got him up in there. You know what I mean? His co-defendant came through, same thing. They actually went to 4 Lower. I heard that people were saying that March 7 was the only PC house. That's not accurate. They had a PC house in 4 Lower. I know that for a fact, even in 9-2, because it was this kid named Craig from my projects. Word. I was in 6 Lower Bang, and I remember being escorted to court with one other person, and the police was like, I guess he didn't feel like making 2 trips, so he was like, yo, I'm going to get an individual from PC, please don't violate, You know, we had no reason to violate nobody from PC, you know what I mean? This is in 9-2. Son came upstairs and it was this dude, Craig. I was like, oh shit. So with that being said, I know for a fact 4 Lower was a PC house in 9-2. But as far as 9-4 with Flight and Melhart, they went to 4 Lower, which was obviously still PC. So this doesn't excuse everybody else that was in PC, but this is just me saying that I know for a fact that you can be forcibly put in PC on Rikers Island, because I only can account for them 2. I can't account for nobody else. But I'm sure they wasn't the first, and I'm sure they weren't the last, but that's the only 2 that I seen that get thrown in PC like that. You know what I mean? And they both went to 4 Lower. Facts. Because of their case. I also remember a couple of dudes, I don't think they was doing this in 9-2, but I know in 9-4, if you was coming through from Spofford, they was automatically throwing you in PC. I remember when I was in a house when they was snatching dudes up that came from Spofford and putting them in PC. But I somehow, some way, I don't know if they fought it or somebody else fought it, but that was short-lived. And Spofford dudes was permitted to come straight to population if they fucked up in Spofford and they was 16 and they shooted them to the island. But I remember it was a period, you know what I'm saying, boom. I know actually of an individual that happened to. I ain't gonna pump his name, you know what I mean? I spoke to him and he asked me not to, so I'm gonna respect that. But anyway, and he was in population. He came out and with the population and was all good. I gotta say that as well. Salute to him. Now that that's out the way, let me address something else as far as protective custody. In no way, shape, fashion, or form can any PC house, be compared to a population house. I heard arguments over the YouTube as far as, you know, a lot of shit that happens in a house or whatever, and I'm a grant at that. You could put 50 nuns in a house, and somebody's gonna be the weakest, and somebody's gonna be the toughest, and they're gonna eventually begin oppressing each other. You put Spofford, a house in Spofford, somebody's gonna be the toughest, somebody gonna get a 3-seater, somebody gonna ride the iron horse. So the fact that shit pops off inside the house, it really doesn't really mean nothing. But I could understand why somebody from PC would list that. Because I'm pretty sure it did go down in there. You know what I mean? You put a group of anything, you put a group of kindergartens and put 50 kindergartens in the house together, and I guarantee you it's gonna be chaotic. They're gonna be popping too. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. And let's not forget, as far as protective house, we dealing with criminals. We dealing with motherfuckers who might have been busting a gun in town, getting crazy in the town, or whatever the case may be. And you know, they went to PC or whatever the case may be. They still, so they got it in them. It ain't gonna be no peaceful situation. Which brings me to my next point. I don't look at as far as the people who signed in the PC, as far as them, regardless of how the PC house turned out to be, I look at the intent. Whoever signed in PC, this for you. Your intent. Because I'm pretty sure, you know, you heard about population. So it's like, if you couldn't have heard about PC without hearing about population. So your intent was to go into a house, a PC, a protective custody house, and just go through shit smoothly. It just happened not to be that way once you got there. But you had no way of knowing that before you got there. So when you got there and it turned out to be like that, it really don't hold no weight in a person trying to use that to bolster up PC. Because nobody in there had no idea that, I mean, you would hear people say it themselves, this supposed to be PC, I ain't know this was like that. So the intent was to go in PC because you predicted that you wouldn't be able to live in population, regardless to how PC turned out to be. The second point, protective custody. Outside the house, they're escorted everywhere they go. See, when you in population, back then, you got a pass, whether it was to the visit, whether it was to sick call, medication, especially if you went on a visit and then you had to stop at that package room and walk back to that house with that package and you wasn't built like that. That could be a long journey. PC don't have to go through that. They get escorted to the visit. They get escorted to pick their package up. They get escorted to sick call, mental health, medication, all that other shit. They get escorted. Now, this is not to say they can't be touched. You got people that was walking on the line, but the chances of somebody jumping off on a PC dude when he walks, from what I hear, is two inmates per police. So if it's four inmates, it's two police escorting them. So let's say a line walking by, like somebody might kamikaze shit, but it would probably in most cases have to be direct beef. But ain't nobody going to sacrifice going to the Bing just to pop off and the fucking CO is right there. You know what I'm saying? So you escort it wherever. Even when you go on a visit, you go straight on. Even when you go to court, you don't go to the mess hall first like everybody else. Everybody in population is in that mess hall. From every house that got caught or either going up north that day. You go there if you in population. Yeah, there's police around, but everybody is mingled. PC dudes go straight from their cell or from their dorm to the search area, straight to the bullpens, just like dudes that's in the Bing do. Straight jacket, that's a fact. I ain't trying to shoot at nobody. I'm just kicking facts. If I'm wrong, then say I'm wrong. but that's a fact. You know, PC dudes, when you in population and you, after you go to that mess hall for court, and they call up north, all the dudes get up, they call Queens, Staten Island, they call Brooklyn, which is always the deepest, they call the Bronx, they call Harlem, or they say Manhattan. It be a lot of shit happening. PC dudes ain't gotta worry about that. And then, if that's not enough, after you get searched, you go to the bullpens in which you go to court. So if you go to Brooklyn court, you go to the Brooklyn bullpens. So you end up in the pens with people from other houses. You might got a bandit there. That's like that with all the population houses. They go to their respective boroughs. PC, no matter what court you go to the PC pens, which is located right beside the CO desk. The first pens by the CO desk. So you don't have to really worry about getting it in the pens because everybody that's in the pens is in your house. And if y'all had any issues, y'all would have just got it in there. Then, when you get out the pens, you go in a little, what we used to call the bird cage. Now they cage everybody, but back then, population was in the back of the bus where it's all the seats, everybody is together, and PC dudes be in the little two-seaters in their own little cage. And even when they get to court, they go to their own little bullpens. So you can't get to them. The only people they have to worry about for the most part is the people that's in their house. And once you establish you can live in a house, whether you a herb or whether you the goon of the house, once you overcome that, then you really don't have nothing to worry about. You know what I'm saying? But population dudes, you got to go to that visit, you got to go to that court, that mess hall, that clinic, you got to roam through them hallways. I personally used to lay in the two building waiting for motherfuckers to come back with their package. We used to see PC dudes go by with big ass package. We left them alone. They was with CO. What the fuck? We ain't gonna be able to get away. So we'd be in the two building waiting for a population motherfucker to come through. Sticking our head out. Yo, son, somebody coming right now. As soon as he come, we snatch his ass up in the two building and book him for everything. Facts. That's real shit. PC dude, they could be seeing us standing there. They don't got nothing to worry about. How we gonna book them for their shit and police right there walking with them? Like I said, they only gotta worry about the people that's in their house. And like I said earlier, just because you gooning in the house don't mean you a goon. You just a goon in that house for the level of whatever level toughness that house has. It's like being on a basketball team and you a bum, but you on a team with 4 other motherfuckers that never played ball a day in their life. And even if y'all get blown out 100-10 and you scored 8 of the points, anytime they show your team, they're gonna show your face because even though you a bum, you a star on the team because you on a team with people that they don't play ball. But let's say if they do a trade and they put you on one of them teams, a regular team that's good, you might not even get off the bench because now you in a different league. So when you coming through a PC house, I'm pretty sure dudes get knocked upside their motherfucking noggets. I'm pretty sure that happens. I'm pretty sure motherfuckers done got shot. I'm pretty sure there's motherfuckers in there with some serious fucking cases. But to compare that with a population house that's just crazy. That's crazy. If something happened to a PC dude because they supposed to be protected, outside of PC house, they could probably really get a lawsuit. Population police they ain't be letting motherfuckers get wigged. Once again, this ain't no shot at nobody. This is me just being realistic, man. You cannot compare. And let me tell you, you can't get to these motherfuckers unless you lucky. And I'm going to end with a story because I was one of the lucky ones that got to one of the motherfuckers. This shit is crazy, too. I'm in one lower Bing. PC dudes is in the yard. My cell is facing the yard. Being I'm in one lower, they right there. So I used to talk to dudes from one main when they in the yard, or some adult houses when they in the yard. My cell right there. So now, remember I told you my son Flight was in PC. He was in the Poconos. The only thing I give PC, because Flight did a lot of Bing time, when you do get Bing time, you come to the regular Bing. You go to the yard with the regular Bing and all that. My son Flight stayed in the Bing. You know what I mean? But, all right, boom. So he's in the yard. PC is in the yard. You got Mod 7 on one side of the yard, because they got the yard split in half, and you got 4 lower on the other side of the yard. Or either you got the right 4 lower on one side and the south side and the north side. I don't know, but I know there was there was PC on both sides of the yard. My son Flight happened to be on the other side of the yard. Now he had just left the Bing. He said he was gonna send me some shit. Fronted on me. He ain't send me shit. You know what I mean? That's that Tilden shit. Nah, I salute the Tilden projects, you know what I'm saying? Boom, Brownfield shit. That's what's up. But anyway, he's on the other side of the yard. So I'm calling him. I don't know if he can't hear me or he acting like he can't hear me. You know what I mean? So just so happened, it's this dude on this side of the yard that's close to my cell, standing like not too far from my cell. I don't know the dude. So I called him. I said, yo. He was like, yo, first of all, my name ain't Yo. I ain't let him have it verbally because I needed him to call my son for me. So I said, yo, listen, man, my bad. He said, no, fuck all that. And he threw a frank at me. Just like that, for nothing. That motherfucker had me steaming. I'm in my cell steaming. I'm like, I'm gonna kill you. You know what I'm saying? Boom. In case y'all don't know who I'm talking about a dude named Preacher Earl. Right? So, I knew I had probably next to zero chance of ever seeing him. He in PC, I'm in the Bang. How I'm gonna ever see this dude? I ain't gonna never see him. But I did tell him that he was stupid because I know how he look, but he don't know how I look. See, he threw a little frank at me. Yo, someone. All right, for no reason at all, when the only thing I was gonna do was ask him to call my son Flight for me. And he talking wild shit. But when you in the yard, you can't see the face of the person you talking to inside. You know who you talking to if that's your man, but you can't see him. But when you're inside, the person inside can see you. So I saw him and I told him, I said, yo, I'm gonna rip your head off when I catch. I was really on that type of time at that time. Like, I mean, I really meant what I said when I said it. I said, I'm gonna rip your head off when I catch you. But like I said, I didn't think I would ever catch him. All right, boom. Months fly by. I swear, I'm not even thinking about the shit no more. The shit ain't even on my mind. I'm not thinking about the shit. It's so much shit. I'm getting in this shit regularly. Like, that shit right there was like, it was like literally forgotten about. You know what I mean? So now, by this time, and I'm going to tell you how I know so much time passed, because by this time, I'm in one main Bing. At that time, I was in one lower Bing, and mad shit happened in between the time. That's how I got the one main Bing. So I know mad time passed. I'm not thinking about this dude. I'm not even thinking about the incident. So now, we going to court one day. And we lined up by the YME pen. Dudes is beefing. Yo, what's taking it so long, man? They say we're waiting for the PC dudes to finish getting searched. I walked like to the front of the line to look, and look who I see at the back of the line, at the PC line. He waiting to go in the search area. Preacher Earl. I said, oh, I'm gonna blow his top off. I think my son Wani was with me that day. He went to court. He was like, nah, son, chill, son. I wasn't predicate at this time. I'm like, yo, chill. He like, chill, son. Yo, chill. You know what I mean? I had some butter on me and shit. You know what I mean? And that shit, I don't know. I don't know, man. We just was just like, I don't know what was wrong, because I'm telling you, at this time, I was on it. You know what I mean? I said, nah, something got to give. Something got to give. Like, soon as I seen them, I just got tight. I'm like, this motherfucker SMD my shit for nothing. You know what I mean? For nothing at all. And he don't even know how I look. So now, as soon as they finish, he on the back of the line, on the PC line, but they all the way in the search area, and I made sure I was on the front of the line on the Bing shit. And it's always a police by the door that, or after you get searched, when you come out, he asks you where you going. Well, I mean, what house you in. So obviously he knows that's a PC house. So as soon as they did him, they did the last dude, and they went to search us, I damn near ran into that search area. Took my shit off real quick. Know what I'm saying, boom? Know what I mean? Got to do, did everything I had to do, put my shit on. So now when I'm coming in, the police standing there, he asked me, but he wasn't sure. He was a CEO who didn't know nothing. Oh yeah, by the way, this led to my incident with that. And anybody who familiar with that incident between me and Anderson, that tall CEO on that be in the receiving room, this is crazy. And I wasn't even thinking about that shit. But while I'm telling the story, this is the incident that led to that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so the police said, well, I said, yo, I'm in PC Mall 4. I forgot if I said 4 lower or, 4 lower or Mall 7 or whatever the fuck it is. Whatever I said, it was enough for the police to let me go by. And I walked right up in that motherfucking PC pins. Now, remember when I said PC dudes, they all in the same house. So if I'm walking up in there, they don't go. It's different if I'm a Bronx dude, I can front like I'm a Brooklyn dude and walk in the Brooklyn pins, because you know what I mean. But PC pins, it's only 2 houses. They pretty much all know each other already. You know what I mean? So here I come walking up in the pins and shit. You know what I'm saying? Boom, motherfucker, see me chuck my little shot in and shit. You know what I'm saying? And son's standing by now. You been in the 4 building, you know the water fountain, the sink is right by the gate. So he's sitting on the sink. He's sitting on that shit. You know what I mean? It's a couple of people in the pens. They all looking at me because they all know I don't supposed to be in that pens. So before shit just got hot, like I said, I told my son, well, I ain't gonna clap him, but I was gonna clap son. But I'm glad I didn't, because me and son ended up being cool later on down. We ended up being all right. You know what I'm saying? Later on down the line, he ended up coming to the Bing and we got all right. You know what I mean? Then we was in Comstock together and we was all right. Not close, but all right. Cordial type shit. But anyway, so he's sitting on the sink. First of all, he's supposed to get up off that sink. If I don't know what he thought. But he, like I said, he don't know that who he was talking to. Man, I 2-pieced the shit out of him so hard, the second punch, his head hit the back of the wall. Boom! And I'm wigging on son. I'm kicking the shit out this motherfucker, and I ain't gonna front. Dude in PC pins tried to help him. So I'm getting it on with dudes in the PC pins. Police come yak me out the pins. When they found out that I wasn't supposed to be in the pins, you know they tried to have their way with me, man. At first they wasn't. How they found out is Anderson come, what are you doing in the pins? What are you doing in the pins? And he comes from around the thing and come walking towards me. Everybody know he got a history of slapping motherfuckers, and I ain't gonna front. We used to be in one main mad times just talking about, yo, what if this happened? Yo, what if that happened? Yo, and just so happened that was one of the things what if Anderson did that to you? I ain't gonna front, I'm doing this. Like, we used to have conversations like that in the band. And we must have recently just had this particular conversation, and here it is coming into fruition. Like, this motherfucker coming at me. Soon as he come at me, I grabbed that motherfucker by his shirt and just went to swinging. But the police, I ain't gonna front, they was quick. They grabbed my arm, but I held on to that motherfucker, and everything they did to me, I did to him. We all went down. Word. But they beat the shit out my shit. I ain't even gonna hold you. They fucked me up. I ain't even go to court that day. Facts. They fucked me up. So they got their shit off. But Anderson, he ain't never fucked with me after that. That's a fact. He ain't never really fucked with me before that. But I used to see how he used to handle dudes, you know what I'm saying? But I had no idea that my day would be coming. But anyway, fuck all that. That's another story. I will get into that because there's mad shit that went with that. I will get into details with that probably later on down the line. But as far as the PC shit, I was lucky enough to get up in that protective custody cage to get at somebody who violated a couple of months before that. But that's like random. Like, you rarely gonna see that unless a motherfucker just on some kamikaze shit. You're not gonna get away. So I say all that to say this, man. You know, everybody got into their lane where they was best for them. Like, you know, if protective custody was best for you and that's felt what you had to do and you did what you had to do, then so be it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that was on that island at adolescence, you had dudes that was 16, 17. A lot of dudes got off the porch and got knocked immediately. A lot of dudes' minds wasn't advanced as a lot of dudes' minds that was already in there. And then you got a lot of dudes that was playing adolescents that was adults, that was real advanced. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. Me, I was just one of the ones, you know, I had some Sparfit in me. I had Ep.5, I was in 600 schools, and I was already a wild little motherfucker. So, you know, that kind of like, I kind of already was looking forward to it, even though it ended up being more than what I imagined it to be once I got in there. But so it just never was a thought in my mind. You know what I'm saying? But I remember being nervous when I first went to Sparfit. Matter of fact, I ain't even gonna hold y'all. I was shook. You know what I'm saying? I remember a motherfucker tried to play me for my hat the very next morning. I'm gonna tell y'all these stories. I keep it official. You know what I'm saying? Boom. But even then, I never thought about going to PC. Like I said, I was already a wild motherfucker anyway. You know what I'm saying? But everybody ain't just come from the porch and had experience. So some dudes did what they felt they had to do for them. So I don't knock them. You know what I mean? If you a rat, now that's a different story. You know what I mean? But you don't necessarily, like I said, I know two individuals, you know what I mean, that was put in PC against their will. Like, I can really account for that. Like, I really, seen that. You know what I mean? And they both would have been all right because Brownsville, Fort Greene, and Stop, Brooklyn was so deep. They would have been good. You know what I'm saying? And so it happens. I seen it. So, with them two, I can't count for everybody else. So that's my expert opinion on this Poconos shit. That's what we used to call PC, the Poconos. Hopefully y'all enjoy this episode. Hopefully I ain't ruffle no feathers or offend nobody. You know what I mean? I just kept it a buck. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Matt Hoffa once again. You know what I mean? I will never use my expert opinion of anything else. But I just thought it sounded slick with this one. But anyway, T-Bone Blast on the checkout. We're talking that walk. Episode 5. 6 is on the come up. That'll probably be next month at the top of the new year, after New Year. But it's coming. I promise y'all. Alright? Y'all have good holidays. Salute. And everybody just enjoy themselves and live well. Blast.